Hi there, this is All About Life and my name is Doreen Guia. So All About Life, when I was thinking about this channel, I wanted a platform where I'll be able to talk about anything and everything. Everything that touches us as human beings, everything that affects us, that affects you, that affects families, that affects a nation, anything that affects us as human beings. That is the reason, that is the one reason why I wanted to come up with this channel. I wanted a platform where I'm able to talk about anything and everything about life. So today, our topic is very interesting. Well, are you in your mid-30s? Are you in your 40s? Mid-40s? Probably there are a few changes that you've noticed in your life. I want to talk about perimenopause. Right now, I'm in my mid-40s. And let me tell you, there's so many things I've come to learn and discover, and I've found them out by myself. There was nobody to prepare me. I didn't have anyone to prepare me for it. I started just noticing that there were some changes in my life. There were some changes in my body. I wanted to know what was happening, and I could not get an answer. All I knew was that I was getting either sick or I really needed medical attention, because what was happening to me, I couldn't explain. And every time I went to the hospital and they did several tests, I was fine. So I wanted to know what was this that was happening to me. I came across this name, perimenopause. And the moment I started learning about it, I was so amazed. I was like, why hasn't anyone ever sat me down? Remember when we were teenagers and our parents sat us down to tell us about puberty, what to expect? You know, that our bodies were changing, we shall start having menses, everything that they talked about. Apparently, the older you get, nobody sits you down to educate you about changes that are about to come or to happen to you. And so, because I have younger sisters, I decided to be the big sister, to be your auntie, to be, you know, to some even that mother that will expose what perimenopause is all about. And so I want you to walk with me through this journey. It's going to be fun. This first season, we are going to talk about perimenopause. I have talked about it so much in my house. I think people can, my boys, my husband can literally explain to you what perimenopause is all about, because I needed them to understand the season I am in and what to expect and how to help me where possible, because there are instances to even help myself. Let's explore together what is perimenopause. Perimenopause is also referred to as the menopause transition. That term menopause, I know it scares some of us. I know when we hear perimenopause, we are thinking, my goodness, I am getting old, and we are thinking of 60s, 70s, you know, but let's learn together. During this transition, your ovaries begin producing less hormones, causing your menstrual cycle to become erratic or irregular. At this time, your body is moving towards the end of your reproductive years. Well, among the first things that you will notice is that you will have irregular menstrual cycle. Though fertility is declining, you can still get pregnant. Don't fool yourself that the moment you start noticing changes in your menstrual cycle, in your body, in the hormonal changes, that you are safe. Let me tell you, in your perimenopause, you can still get pregnant. So we've just described what perimenopause is, and we've said it is a transition towards menopause. And it doesn't mean that the moment you start seeing the signs of perimenopause, you automatically have gone into menopause. It will take several years, as we are going to see together. The second question is, at what age does perimenopause begin? Perimenopause may begin as early as in your mid-30s or as late as in your mid-50s. Some people are in perimenopause for only a short time, while others it takes longer. So there you have it. It may start in your mid-30s, as early as in your mid-30s, and as late as in your 50s. You know, it varies from one woman to another. So you might be in your mid-30s and you start experiencing the symptoms of perimenopause. Another question: how long does perimenopause last? For many, it lasts between 4 years to 8 years. The term perimenopause simply describes the time when your cycles are no longer predictable. I don't know if you've gone through this, but yes, when you begin experiencing perimenopause or the symptoms of perimenopause, you will have extremely irregular cycles. You know, if you are this person who had regular cycles, and it will be 28 days, it will be, you know, either 30 days, you will notice that now you are going 35 days, they are late or they come early by a week or late by that week. The first time this ever happened to me, I was so scared. I thought to myself, am I pregnant in my 40s? Am I expecting baby number 4? And definitely I rushed to the hospital after they were late for 7 days, only to just be told, Doreen, well, you are just going through perimenopause. This is normal with perimenopause, and you will notice, or you will start having irregular cycles. My goodness, everything becomes a shocker. Everything is a shock when your body just starts behaving weird. And this is what happened to me. That is my story about the irregular cycles. So we've said to some people it might be 4 years, and to some it might go as far as 8 years. The other question that I want to answer today is, what are the hormonal changes during perimenopause? So the hormonal changes you experience during perimenopause are mostly caused by declining estrogen levels. So your ovaries make estrogen. It plays a vital role in maintaining the reproductive system. Once you enter perimenopause, your estrogen levels start to decrease. As estrogen decreases, it throws off the balance with progesterone, another hormone produced by your ovaries. These two hormones together are responsible for ovulation and menstruation. Estrogen and progesterone. I hope I'm pronouncing it well, progesterone. So it's common for hormone levels to fluctuate during perimenopause, to go up and down like a roller coaster. And let me tell you, it is a real roller coaster. So let's see what purpose the estrogen and the progesterone play during the perimenopause. Remember, during perimenopause, the estrogen levels keep fluctuating. So when your estrogen is high, you may have symptoms similar to when you are having your menstrual cycle, or when you're about to have your menstrual cycle. And what are some of the symptoms? You might experience cravings. You might be moody. You might experience fatigue. You might experience the backaches and the aches. And let me tell you, when you are going through the perimenopause, these symptoms come at any time. Not during your menses or when you're about to have your menses. They appear at any time of the month. So you used to know that when you're about to have your menses, you experience certain symptoms. Now guess what? When you are going through perimenopause, all of a sudden you have ridiculous cravings. You crave for sugar and you crave for salty stuff. You want sugar. Previously, you were this very disciplined person with food, but now, because of the hormonal changes, the hormonal imbalances, because of the estrogen levels that keep fluctuating, when it is higher, you experience symptoms like those you experience just before you have your menses or during your menses. This can be very tough, you know. I, being one person that was very disciplined with what I ate, I found myself having ridiculous fatigue. I love running, and you can imagine during this season, there are times I cannot even run. I experience ridiculous fatigue. The cravings that I get, I tell you, you might either think you're expectant or something is very wrong with you. So if you find yourself going through such symptoms, just know that you are going through perimenopause. Oh, let's talk about being moody. I tell you, everything irritates you. You were this person who could accommodate everyone and anyone and whatever they said, but all of a sudden, everything and most of the things that people say make you extremely angry. You know, your mood swings are just off the roof. And at times, if the people that are living with you, your spouse, your children, if they don't understand you, they might think that you are changing into this very unpredictable person, because one moment you're happy, the next you're sad, the next you're almost depressed. It is not an easy season. And that's why I chose to educate the people in my house. I wanted them to understand what perimenopause was all about, so that possibly, preferably, they're able to understand me, because there are times I am not able to understand myself. So if you are experiencing such symptoms, just know that you are going through the perimenopause. And so when estrogen is low, remember when estrogen is high, you experience the symptoms you would experience when you're about to have your menses. And now when estrogen is low, you may have hot flashes or night sweats. These hormone changes may be mixed with normal cycles. So we have said, when estrogen is high, you will experience the symptoms that you would normally experience when you're about to have your menses or when you are having your menses. So think about what you always experience: the tender breast, the pains, the aches, the cramping, all that. And when estrogen is low, you will experience hot flashes and night sweats. And remember, these symptoms, these hormone changes will be mixed with normal cycles. But all I'm telling you is that your body will just be a roller coaster of hormones, and it is scary. It is very scary, and at times you might even feel or think that you are very, very sick. You can imagine when the estrogen levels are low, now you have night sweats, now you have hot flashes. The first time I had night sweats, I thought to myself, what disease is this? Why are my night gowns all wet? The sweats that you get at night, you can't sleep. You have to change to something else, because it's usually all wet. And all these changes can be very scary if you don't know what you're going through. If you don't know what your body is going through, you might find yourself in a lot of stress. You might find yourself very worried. You might begin to think you have a certain kind of disease. I tell you, I have a friend who went and asked the doctor to check for cancer because they felt this cannot be normal. And that is how it happens. Everything happens either all at once, or the changes keep coming and they confuse you as a woman. And at one point you do not know what's happening to you. you have ridiculous fatigue, you have ridiculous aches, you have ridiculous cravings, and the discipline you start struggling in some areas. What is the difference between perimenopause and menopause? Perimenopause is a transitional time that ends in menopause. Menopause means your period has ended. You are no longer having any menstrual cycles. When you have no menstrual cycle for a full 12 months, 1 year, you have officially reached menopause. So between perimenopause and menopause, you might have 4 to 8 years. And the moment that you will find that you're no longer having any menstrual cycle for 12 months, which is 1 year, then that is when you know you have officially entered the menopause season. So join me next time and let's talk about the various symptoms of perimenopause. I hope you've learned something. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, to my platform, kindly subscribe, make this a favorite, because we are going to be exploring everything about life. And that is it from me, All About Life by Doreen Guya. Make sure you subscribe, share with someone that you know might need this information. Like and leave a comment. Thank you.